So Bitcoin hit nearly 70K this weekend, its highest price since July. It's since pared back those gains. And my question to you is, what was behind the surge? And is the sell-off just investors taking profit, or is this something else that's driving the price here?
Hi. So I feel like bunch of factors. Already early poll results had a lot of people, especially the crypto community, is baking in President Trump's win. So there is a little bit of that effect coming in. And also a lot of liquidity from China has started having a strong buy into the space again. And we have always seen that when it is China, it's always Bitcoin which goes up. Then we see the alt rally, and then we see ETH prices going up. So we are at the first stage, but now US presidential hopeful or expected win in combination with the Chinese market is creating a very interesting dynamics here.
It's been a blockbuster few days for spot Bitcoin ETFs as well. They've collectively seen net inflows of nearly $2.7 billion over the last 7 consecutive trading days. Is that part of what's driving the price of Bitcoin higher as well? Or is it more of a chicken egg situation where that rising price of Bitcoin is then driving investors into these spot Bitcoin ETFs?
I feel like it is more the latter because I just came to Dubai for an AIM conference, landed here from New York day before yesterday, and it's a very different atmosphere. When I was in Singapore earlier for a different conference and in New York, it was little less hopeful. I was actually telling my team that Dubai suddenly everybody, all the institutional investors having FOMO, and they feel like, oh, the Bitcoin prices are going up. We need to get into the liquid side of it. We need to get into liquid tokens. Markets are going to up. Suddenly, we are getting so many LPs trying to get into the liquid positions on some of the blue chip tokens. It's fascinating to see. So I feel like it is a little bit of FOMO and the expectation then there is a bull cycle very close.
Now, going back to this idea that you were talking about a minute ago, the fact that investors might be pricing in a win for Donald Trump, it also seems like so much of the crypto community is starting to soften to Vice President Kamala Harris. We saw Chris Larson give her campaign nearly $12 million in XRP. So the conversations that I'm having is that people who are chatting with the Harris camp behind the scenes think that she will also have a more progressive stance when it comes to the digital assets industry. So do you think that this is almost a win-win, or does it seem to be that crypto investors are very confident that Trump is headed for success?
I think I'll divide this question into two. There is President Trump has been very vocal about his support for the space, and Vice President Harris does not have any clear or have any clarity about what would it look like. So if somebody is a Democrat, if you are a Democrat and you do believe apart from just one point agenda, overall the whole picture, and that's really resonates much better with the Democratic ethos, then you do want to play a role and you do want to be part of that campaign and you do want to make sure that they think it through right. But if you look at on the global level, just outside America, you would feel that most of the people feel that President Trump would be a much better candidate for just not crypto policies, but overall for the markets. And I think somewhere that's definitely getting added in.
So just over a week ago, Donald Trump, this crypto bank that he has backed, World Liberty Financial, the platform itself is not live, but they did the token sale. It has raised $13 million, very tepid interest so far. And I realize that it's limited to accredited investors, but it doesn't seem like that's the only limiting factor here with respect to buy-in. Talk to me about that dynamic and what's going on there.
Yeah, it's a very fascinating question. I feel like when it was about to launch or the strategy, people who were like talking behind the scenes, it felt like this would be the hottest product out there, especially with President Trump associated with it. Unfortunately or fortunately, it is nowhere close to the target which they set up, which were in 70s, if I remember it correctly. I think it is where, as you were talking about, people are hedging their bets. Like there is a support for it, but people are like, let him be president. I would be very, very curious to see that if they continue to offer this and President Trump is basically announced as a winner, how long will it take for that to get filled? But at the same time, on the technology side, use case of it, or how if I just look at it as a VC, just as a used product, Of course, it is nowhere close to amazing technologies or the offerings which is out there. Said that, I think this is where the uncertainty and the hedging comes in.
So the spot Ether ETFs, I was looking at trading volumes. It's an absolute fraction of what we're seeing on the Bitcoin side of things. Looking more broadly at the crypto market, are there any other trends that you're paying attention to outside of the price flows that we're seeing with Bitcoin and perhaps ripple effects from there to other altcoins?
Yeah. So every time Bitcoin goes up, one of the first thing which I look at is Asian markets. Is the liquidity suddenly has been moving up, and where is it going? Secondly, what are the altcoins which are picking up? So when I say altcoins, I start looking at Solana, Dodge, and like bunch of other layer ones and layer twos, Aptos, which has really actually gone up, Sei, Sui, etc. Because ETH has been traditionally is the last one to pick up, which is also then a very, very strong feeling that the market is up. ETH follows the altcoin rally. And the other trend which I'm following, which is very degen, by the way, in the space, is the meme coin trend. How much liquidity suddenly comes into the meme coin in this cycle, very similar to how NFT was doing in the last cycle. So those are the things. And then also on-chain volumes and the off-chain volumes with respect to RWAs and stable coin movements. Those are some of the big factors.
Last thing, I'm keen to hear your outlook for the crypto market through the end of 2024 and how much election uncertainty changes that estimation.
I feel that it is uncertainty. There are favorites, everything. But I feel like if President Trump is a clear winner in November, we will suddenly see a very big, a huge boost in the market. It may recorrect itself sometimes in January and February and start figuring out where to go for the recorrection. But if we also see in the for the Democratic side, if Vice President Harris comes into the picture, we feel like that it will take Fed rate cuts, it will take certain policy announcements, especially that there's not going to be taxes on unrealized gains. I think that's the big one, which a lot of traders and a lot of traditional traders and crypto traders have been little afraid of. What does that mean? And I think some corrections on those policies will step by step, then we'll have a bull cycle. So everybody is like, hey, it's November is bull or July is going to be bull next year. So I think that is all connected with the candidate who gets to be the president later this year.